Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I am playing the Tier 10 US Destroyer Gearing. This is an all Tier 10 match. Lucky for me, there's no CV in the game. There's a smattering of enemy radar. Petropavlovsk and Des Moines. Petro is probably the greater threat just because of the extra range on its radar. It only lasts for, what, 25 seconds, but that's plenty of time. Even though I'm not immediately spotted by everybody when he radars, the half dozen or so seconds that it takes for them to be able to see me gives them plenty of time to get the turret swung around so that they can pull the trigger as soon as possible. Spawned north of the Charlie Cap, so I'm going to do what I generally do. I'm going to try and get in here and contest the cap, keep the enemy team from taking it. Not that they won't ultimately end up with it. Depends upon how I and these other 4 players do here. But my goal is to, if I can't take it, keep them from taking it. I've got to be careful here. I don't want to get detected out here. Trying to put some torpedoes behind the island a little bit. I've still got a little bit of time to get into the cap. And I see that we've got our Shima and a Hindi that are also pushing right into the cap, so I'm not too worried that we're going to lose it before one of us sticks our nose into the cap here. Yep, Shima crosses the line. I've got torps out there already, so unless they get detected by whatever's behind the island, I've got a shot of catching something. I did. Okay, so caught the Shima. One of 2 Shimas. So we've got a Conqueror, 2 Shimas, and a Smolensk. I definitely don't want to eat any of these torpedoes. Shimakaze torpedoes hurt. I'm amazed that I managed to land one on that Conqueror back there after the Shima spotted them, but yeah, he was probably zoomed in, paying attention elsewhere. You can see our Shima's keeping busy throwing torpedoes through that little gap. Meanwhile, our Z-52 on the other side of the map. Looks like he's probably going to end up securing the Alpha cap. We've got a Shima squaring off with the gearing. And he's a little close to the Petropavlovsk. I'm keeping an eye on that myself because I am well within radar range of that Petro. I want to try as much as I can to be effective on this side while also keeping the edge of the island between myself and where I think that Smolensk might be, so that I can run. Petro is going to radar. It's just a question of when. He's going to want to catch our Shima there. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving. Get out of the way of these torpedoes. And my hope is that Thunder is going to finish up that Petro right now. We'll see. I saw some AP coming out of these guns, and that's what he needs here. So good on him for using AP. You can see the Petro's angled up a bit. My last torpedo spread was a bust. Enemy Smolensk is just pushing right in, but I think he's beginning to rethink that whole thing. Get some torpedoes ahead of him. Conk is out there as well, although he's falling back. Now I've got to use this island because Smolensk is close enough now where if I get detected, he'll just tear me to shreds. Looks like he slowed down a little bit. Kremlin finishes off our Moskva. He did slow down, well, he's angled up completely. So it's just a question of a few seconds till I'm probably going to get hydroed here. And it's fine if I do. I can still use the island for cover. Got the Wayland Defender. Just ran right out there in the open. Shoot. He might not need hydro. I'm about to get proximity spotted. Let's see if I can make this turn without getting seen here. Gotta stay out of proximity detection range. And if he pushes in here, he's in big trouble. Boy, that was a lot of torpedoes. Oh, he has stopped. There's the hydro that I was expecting. Our poor Shima. Yeah, you can see Shima lost almost half his hit points in the first volley. Next volley, he's dead. And down he goes. So, that's why I started to fall back. I definitely did not want to be at point-blank range to that Smolensk. So I've got to create a little bit of distance here. He's probably getting as close as he can to the island just to keep that hydro on me as long as possible. Des Moines making some long-range shots. A little bit of chip damage, and now I get out of hydro range. And our Thunderer smacks the Smolensk, so... So I'm going to get back in the cab. As soon as I get done with our little beach blanket bingo here. Get the crew loaded back up. Everybody grab the ice chest. Don't forget the ice chest. There we go. Now, taking a look at the bigger picture, the bad guys are down 5 ships. We're only down 2. Our Thunderer's been on a tear. He's sunk 2 ships already. And I'm just flooding the gap there between those islands. If Des Moines continues to push in, maybe he eats one of those. If he doesn't, maybe he sees them and decides, you know what, I don't want any part of that, and heads back the other way. Thunderer pointing out that, yeah, there was a Shima over there. I'm aware. And he is in the cap, and I'm just telling everybody where he's at. You can see I've got radio position finder, or radio location, depending upon how long you've been playing the game and what you got used to calling it. I'm trying initially to avoid getting in radar range of the Des Moines. I want to make sure we secure the cap before I get lit up. Should be okay here. Don't think anybody can see me. I'm not going to be able to do much, but you know, maybe I add a little bit of chip damage and it helps make the difference finishing off the Des Moines. I think that's probably all I can afford. Back up. Yeah, he's outside of radar. I'll just back up here a little bit. Yamato finishes off our Hindi. We are now down 3 ships there, down 5. We've secured all 3 caps. And that's giving us an ever-increasing points lead. Now, why did I put torpedoes way out there? Well, if Des Moines decides to run that direction, I might catch him with something. Now I realize the Kremlin's probably going to finish him off long before my torpedoes get there, but I don't have anything else to throw them at, so I'm throwing them at Des Moines. And down he goes. Gotta say, I love that player name. that cracks me up. Down goes their Montana. They've got 5 ships left. We've still got 8. This is looking very bad for them. So why did I want to put this replay up? A couple of reasons. One, pardon me, the importance of securing the objectives and getting the caps really cannot be overstated. Now sometimes you have to fall back. Sometimes you just do. For example, if there was a radar cruiser that had pushed up close enough to keep me lit up, there was maybe a Hydro DD, maybe a Z-52, that was, the constant threat of pushing in, hydroing, and catching me that way with, a cruiser maybe center that was crossfire. Every situation has to be analyzed on its own merits, but in general, I think it's fair to say that playing the objectives wins more games. Yamato is plainly turning. He's going to try and angle to the Thunderer. I'm going to go ahead and smoke up and let my guns get to work. The reload on these things is pretty quick with torpedoes. You can see I've only got 1 minute and 8 seconds and I'll be back. So even if he pushes right at me, I think I've got enough time if I just run ahead of my own smoke to be able to use torpedoes, the next volley of torpedoes at point blank range. There were 2 fires on him. He went ahead and repaired, which I'm a little surprised by, but he did. He's probably figuring it's all over anyway. He's pushing directly into a Gearing and a Thunderer. I've got 30 seconds till torps are back up, so I'll just kind of inch out here. I want to make sure that I don't get detected just from range through my smoke. And I get detected. Tells me their DD is close. He's very focused on the Thunderer. And now it's time to make my torpedo run. Now he's going to try and get the guns turned around here. I've got to make sure I don't eat one of these torpedoes. And I really kind of botched that torpedo drop, but that's okay. Just got to get the guns working. I can outrun his turret traverse. The ship is on fire. Probably should have switched to AP here, but my thinking was I want to get a fire started in case I do get blapped. But that's it. Thanks a lot.